So all this drama with the NBA, TNT, Amazon, all of this stuff has been going on for some time now, and there was even a lawsuit involved, and for months it's just been, weird news, lots of rumors. Luckily now we have some good news. So before I tell you the good news, let me give you just a little bit of backstory. So for a while now, TNT has had rights to broadcast NBA games, and they also have rights to produce NBA related content, and the most famous example being the show Inside the NBA. So recently, the NBA signed a deal with Amazon worth almost $2 billion to give Amazon the rights to broadcast and to stream and to do all of that stuff with NBA related content instead, and they took it away from TNT. And so TNT's parent company, which is Warner Brothers, they came back to the NBA saying, hey, we can match this offer, we can match that deal. All we want is to retain what we already have. We want the ability to continue producing NBA content, and we want to continue broadcasting NBA games. And the NBA just flat out said, no, we're still gonna go with Amazon/ESPN, so, tough luck. And so that's where the lawsuit came in. Eventually the lawsuit was settled. The bad news is that TNT will no longer broadcast NBA games after this season. But the good news is that the show Inside the NBA is still going to be a thing. So I think that was fear number one, is that, okay, if this deal falls through, if NBA goes to Amazon and ESPN, then what's TNT going to do? What's Inside the NBA going to do? What's Barkley and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie? That show that everybody loves so much will no longer be a thing. So good news number one is that the show is still going to be produced. Now, good news number two is that all 4 hosts are going to come back to run the show exactly how they've been running it. So TNT is still going to produce the show. It's just going to be aired on a different channel, essentially. But the production process itself, the people behind the camera, the hosts, everything is going to be the exact same. They're even going to use the same, the office they use in Atlanta to film and edit, and everything that they do there, all of that's going to remain the exact same. And that's pretty reassuring. It tells us that TNT hopefully still has creative control over, what they produce. I think what makes the show so unique is that those hosts, Shaq and Barkley, they have the ability to say what they want. They can be unfiltered, they can be unhinged, and all of that leads to just really, really funny commentary. It's honestly amazing. And so I'm hoping that they can retain that creative freedom down the road as well. But I do have some concerns. So concern number one is that this is now going to be on the ESPN platform instead. And ESPN content is really bad, in my opinion. From top to bottom, I think ESPN quality is just really, really shitty. Even if you just go to the ESPN website on your browser, you're gonna see ads pop up on the left and right hand side of your screen. It's going to be stuff unrelated to ESPN. It's going to be random websites that you visited, like Amazon.com or something else, eBay. Point is, ESPN is littered with ads, almost like they're begging for money or something. And considering how big of a name ESPN is, it's always shocked me that their production quality is so little, and they resort to these cheap little clickbaity ads on every page and on everything they produce. It makes it really unprofessional, in my opinion. You're not going to find that anywhere else in a big name company, but ESPN is like that. So my concern number one is that if ESPN is producing the show, what if they water the show down with ads and stuff like that? Or what if they water down the content? What if they want a say in how it's produced? And what if they essentially end up putting handcuffs on what the hosts can say? What type of jokes they can make, what type of humor they can show outward. And that would impact the quality of the show a lot. I also think, concern number two is, are they going to try to have a say in these things? I guess it ties in with concern number one, but the creative freedom that TNT should have, is ESPN going to try to take some of that creative freedom away to run it their way? What if they want to run it the way that Stephen A is told to run his shows? It's supposed to be more yelling and arguing and less just chill, laid back, funny commentary. Because if they turn Inside the NBA into something that Stephen A. Smith produces, it's no longer Inside the NBA. Now it's just another ESPN produced show. might I say that it's not going to be a show that anyone enjoys anymore. But either way, some good news, some bad news, and some concerns. But that's what we know so far. Overall, I think this is a win. So, I'm going to remain optimistic. But let me know if you have thoughts on this. Let me know if you think that this is a good move or if you think that the show is going to fail. Let me know.